هل ينظرون إلا الساعة أن تأتيهم بغتة وهم لا يشعرون.
طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. First question comes from Umar Farouk, UF from Far Rockaway, New York. If it's written that we're still on pause at the end of Ramadan, how should we pray Salah to the Eid? You obey your rulers and your scholars, and you'll do what they tell you to do. Next question. Mahmoud G. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hayakallah, akhi. SA from Ottawa, Canada. If a sister has a male teacher, should she wear a niqab in front of him, even though she is not a niqabi? The niqab is best, it's better, it's closer. The Quran clearly affirms this, that when we ask the wives of the Prophet ﷺ for something, then ask them from behind a screen. And Allah says that that is better and that's pure for both of your hearts. Your hearts and theirs and yours. So that's the general rule of covering the face in front of a non-mahram man is always best. Very important for us to understand this, guys. Whether it's obligatory or not, madhab, culture, you can't lose by doing it. And there's no doubt there's an athar. Okay, with regards to modesty, bashfulness, seeing a woman's face versus not seeing her face. So with that being said, and before we move forward, we have to realize something. Even among non-Muslims, this is accepted. You look at the culture of a widow and where the word widow's peak comes from. Okay, on your head you have a widow's peak. What's meant by that? Why? How did a widow dress? All right, what did she wear? What type of thing did she place upon her face in the death of her husband? It means something, and there's a reason why. So you can't lose that covering the face is safest, is best, is pure. All right, tayyib. So therefore, out of respect and more modesty and humility, perhaps that's best. As far as the rule of having a male teacher, the dynamics of that, then that's a different discussion. Wallahu a'lam. AAC from Fergusta, Sweden. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah reward you for your efforts, Sheikh. Should one pray the Sunnah for Isha, then pray, example, 11 rak'ah qiyam, can the 2 for Isha be included in the 11? Jazakallahu khair. They should be separate. As the narration of Aisha states, that the Prophet ﷺ didn't make no more than 13 rak'at. And what's meant by 13, 2 after Isha, 8 for qiyam, 3 for witr. Wallahu a'lam. Ihsan IR from Detroit, Michigan. Is it okay to dance with your spouse? The general rule is yes, you can dance with your spouse. What type of dance? Different discussion. Are you listening to something with that dance? Different discussion. But the general rule is that you can dance and play around and joke around and practice any type of recreation or romance with your wife if you want, as long as it doesn't go against the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah. Lord. Ahmed Farah, Columbus, Ohio. Mufti, Hayakallah Sheikh. What are the ways to boost your worship last 10 nights of Ramadan? Barakallahu fikum, Allah hayyik. Boosting your worship, many ways, or from those ways, is to remove yourself from that which will prevent you from the normal worship, the moderate worship, or even one may say the mediocre worship. Stay away from those things that stop you and slow you down, like your heart, cholesterol, fat. They say it clogs your arteries and the blood flows and pumps slower than usual. So you have to cut down on the cholesterol, cut down on things that slow you down from normal pumping and normal flowing. Then you have to accelerate your breathing, your running, until your heart is pumping a lot and more adrenaline is in your body. So you have to do something that you hype, something that makes you feel connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, something that makes you feel good, something that makes you feel special. So as an example of this, briefly, we just were playing the recitation of Sheikh Abdul Basit, may Allah have mercy upon him. When I hear that, that soothes me. It calms me, and at the same time, certain types of recitation of his makes me hype. It makes me feel the power of the Quran. You feel it, you taste it, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the recitation, the might of the Quran, and it pushes me into other moods and modes to do more things. So that has to go to yourself, whatever you find to be the means to get you moving. But the first step before you get moving, before your pump can beat rapidly, is you have to have less cholesterol. You have to make sure that the valves, okay, the channels, the chambers of the heart, you have to make sure that the veins are good. All right? Wallahu alam, the arteries. Now, question comes from Mr. Lodi, California Mufti. How are you? How are you, and how is your companion Abu Saeed? Any update on the book club? Tahir, alhamdulillah, I'm okay. Brother Abu Saeed, he's fulfilling his destiny. May Allah allow him to do that. The book club, which book club are you talking about? On Instagram? Or please explain which book club you're talking about. AAC for Gusta Sweden, Assalamu alaikum. Can I pray the Eid prayer or Jumu'ah at home with only my wife and young kids under 7? If so, who makes the adhan, etc.? May Allah accept your efforts. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As far as the Eid and Jumu'ah, then if you're going to pray them in the house, especially Jumu'ah, then I would say bring another person if you can. Bring another person if you can. If you have a family member, that's best. Due to the restrictions, if you can bring another family over, a husband and a wife, that's best. Have at least, inshallah, 3 people. That's the best thing to do. The best thing to do is have 3 people. Even though aqallul jama'ati ithnani, the minimum of jama'ah is 2 people. But the concept of your wife, who's going to make it in, so on and so forth. So it's best to have at least 3 people, 2 men and a woman, etc. That's the best thing to do, inshallah ta'ala. That's the safest thing. And I'm not saying that it's invalid to make it even with 2, inshallah ta'ala. So once you do that, you perform the Salah, the Jumu'ah and the Eid as you normally would perform, bidnillahi ta'ala. And obviously making Salat al-Eid in the house is a discussion that's based off of another fiqh discussion. And that's the fiqh discussion of, is Salat al-Eid obligatory? Is it mandatory? And if you miss Salat al-Eid, do you have to make it up? Inshallah, we'll post some videos on that very soon. Inshallah ta'ala. Wallahu alam. Next question says, LS from London, UK. Assalamu alaikum Mufti. Is working in the supermarket the same as restaurant during Ramadan? Is working in a supermarket less doubtful? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, it's relatively less doubtful, yes. The food is not being cooked. The food is not being served. Somebody could take the food home and eat it. They could buy cat food for their cat, dog food for their dog. Inshallah ta'ala, it's not as bad as a restaurant. But there are many people we know for sure that are going to that restaurant and they're eating and drinking during the day of Ramadan. Wallahu a'lam. KA from London, UK. How to know if you're having waswasa about trusting someone if it's your intuition? Well, someone who doesn't have waswasa and someone who has knowledge and wisdom and good life experience, then they should trust their intuition. Someone who suffers from waswasa or has suffered from waswasa, depending on the level of waswasa, I'll say this frankly, if a person is suffering from it, then there is no intuition. He who suffers from waswasa has no precaution. There's no such thing as, I'm almost sure, let me double check, abadan. You move forward and you never stop moving forward. This is what the ulama of Islam say. One of the ways is to combat the waswasa is never to think or to ponder or to reflect on it. There is no such thing as my gut feeling. Your gut feeling it doesn't exist. It's sick. It's not healthy. As far as the one who never had it, who doesn't suffer from it, that's a different story. That's a different story. And of course, there are different levels of intuition. Intuition is a gift from Allah, like an instinct. Animal kingdom, the animal world, animal instinct. Some animals are sharper than others. Some animals, they smell it. They sense it, the danger, the weather, a hurricane, a storm, a tornado, a predator, they can like that. And there are other animals that are more miskeen and they get picked off. They're prey of other animals. There are different levels, and there are different animals that are prey of predators, but they're fast, they're quick. You can't even get close to the thing. All right? So different levels of intuition. That's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's important is intuition has its place in Islam, and it is not to be transgressed. Intuition doesn't mean that you go against the Quran and the Hadith because my gut feeling told me. Intuition doesn't mean that you hesitate upon something which is clearly good just because I have a scratchy feeling in my stomach. There's a balance. Wallahu alam. Next question says, Omar Usman Farouk from Pakistan, Punjab, Pakistan. Sheikh, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, what would you say on a lay Muslim do on the last 2 nights? Only dua? Or should I pray so many rak'ats, read Quran? I would say diversify your worship. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah bless you and bless the Muslims of Pakistan. Diversify your worship. Read Quran, pray, make dua, enjoy certain things with your brothers and sisters. Okay, the halal things in the masjid, you talk with them briefly, eat with them briefly. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, seek knowledge, teach knowledge, enjoy the good, forbid the evil. None of those things are prohibited, and they're all ibadat which are virtuous. And when you diversify things, it allows you to focus and concentrate better and have a stronger appreciation. Wallahu a'lam. Shakir Abdullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ya Ustadana al-Kareem, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hayakum Allah wa barakallahu fikum. Idris IA from Philly, PA. Is it wrong to pray Qiyam and Witr? Qiyam and Witr, no, it's not wrong. Qiyam is the raka'at that you make, and Witr is the cap of those raka'at, the crown jewel, the icing on the cake. Wallahu a'lam. Adam Shakur, Assalamu alaikum, from Bronx, New York. Sheikh, may Allah increase you. Can one make sajda and make dua in Ramadan or whenever when in menstruation? Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu feek. Sujood can be made without actual prayer, such as sujood al-shukr, thanking Allah for something that He gave you, such as the sujood of tilawa. That's not actual prayer. Okay? So if you're menstruating, there are certain types of prostration that you can make. All right? But it doesn't mean that you can just sit in sujood for an hour like prayer and you're menstruating. What's important is that there are many things that you can do when you're menstruating. And let's say that you love to be in sujood. There's no feeling comparable to sujood, and you miss it so much when you're menstruating. You have to be patient. Allah put that upon you. And the moment you come off your menstruation, you go back to the sujood, and you value it, and you appreciate it. And we know that absence, all right, oftentimes is the core of love. When something is away from you, when it comes back to you, you love it more versus you having access to it every day. Why is Ramadan so special? What's the big deal about Ramadan? Except for the fact that it's only once a year. And if Ramadan was every month out of the year, it would not be as special. People would not value it. They would not appreciate it. Even though it's still the month of the Quran. Even though it's still the month in this blessing and that blessing, they would not value it. And the only reason, one of the main reasons why they value it so much is because it comes and it goes. So this is hikmatun baligha. This is tremendous wisdom from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, allowing the thing not to be there all of the time. So value salat when you can make it, and when you're not in the state to make prayer, alhamdulillah, there are other acts of ibadah that you can perform. Just like men have to be patient upon certain things. Okay? Why does a woman have to be like this? Why do I have to go in the battlefield and fight? And you have to have sabr. Allah decreed that upon you. So you have to have patience. And it's not the end of the world. Wallahu alam. Question is from Simply D. Please mention where you're coming from. Thank you very much. MHG, Hollis, New York. My grandfather's 84 and can't remember a lot of things. He can fast and he can't remember to feed 30 people. Is there anything done upon him? Feed the people for him, inshallah ta'ala, if you have the ability to do so. Bismillah. UT, London, UK. When asked the 3 questions in the grave, will your lips be sealed? Is there any mention in the Quran and Sunnah of how you answer the questions asked? I don't know about that. I haven't read anything with regards to that. King Faisal, MA, Bronx, New York City. Should I stop my 7-year-old daughter from fasting until she did 4 days and want to continue? I saw the dad stop his daughter. No. Why would you stop your child from worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What type of nonsense is that? Your child wants to be righteous and do the right thing. You should push them. You should encourage them. You should reward your daughter. Take her to the toy store. Buy her whatever she wants out of the store. You can have anything out of the store. Anything. Regardless of the price, because you fasted all day and you weren't forced to, you didn't have to. That's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To have a righteous daughter that wants to do khair. It's a tremendous blessing. Wallahu a'lam. طيب. طيب. Abda'atib. Muhammad. Question. Assalamu alaikum Mufti. Telangana, India. Can you explain the Ajwa dates hadith? Simple. The ajwa hadith that come from Medina, pay attention. Min ajwa Medina. The ajwa of Medina, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, is that it has a power and a special agent, a special ability by the permission of Allah to prevent a person from obtaining sihr and getting sihr. This is not strange or marvelous or out of the realm of understanding of the Muslim. There are many things that have barakah in them. Many things that are means of other than barakah. Many things are asbab for Allah Azza wa Jal's qadr. Alright? Perhaps we'll do a video on this, explain this in detail another time, inshallah ta'ala. Wallahu a'lam. Question says, I eat Philadelphia PA. If I write a book that is beneficial for the Muslims and sell it, will I get lesser reward for the book? No, abadan. Abadan. Your intention is for Allah. Whether you make money, whether you don't make money. That has nothing to do with the niyyah. The book costs money to be printed. You making money for the book is a means of you having the ability to write another book and a third and a fourth and a fifth book. Money does not spoil your intention. And the best proof for this, and obviously there's a context behind this question and the widespread misconception, is that if you take money for something, you have no reward. You're not sincere. You're only doing it for the money. That's false. Allah talks about fighting in His cause, and He talks about وَمَغَانِمَ كَثِيرًا, abundant booty, abundant spoils, abundant ghanaim, spoils of war treasure. Did that diminish the companions' reward? Allah sent down those ayat upon the Sahaba who fought in His cause. And the Prophet ﷺ, he told a hadith about the martyr and who dies in the cause of Allah. Those hadiths were said to companions who took what? يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْأَنْفَالِ. Wallahu a'lam. Question: UT from non-UK, is it allowed to cut the elder family relatives who are toxic? Try to give them advice. If there's no other way, there's no way out, no flight square, do what you have to do for necessity. KA, Frankfurt, Germany. What is the ruling on coitus interruptus from a newly married if one wants to perform a hajj as a couple before getting children, and advice on it in general? Tayyib. The general rule is that it's permissible to do that. It's not haram. It's permissible. When the Prophet ﷺ was asked about this in the authentic hadith, he said, يعني ما عليكم ألا تفعلوا. Basically saying it doesn't matter whether you do it or not, because the child doesn't come from all of the ejaculation. The what they said, it doesn't need the full ejaculation to have the child. Okay, and there's no soul that Allah has deemed and decreed to come into existence except that it's going to come into existence. So you can withdraw and pull out, do what you want. If Allah wills it, it's going to happen. Now, of course, you try to prevent or you try to attempt, etc. But whatever's going to happen is going to happen. This is proven through life experience. A woman that's extremely fertile is proven through life experience. You say, I touched her, I kissed her, next thing she got pregnant. That's how things are. So you can try, but Allah Azza wa Jalla's qadr is going to, and Wallahu ghalibun ala amrihi. What He wants is going to take place no matter what. As far as if you want to make some type of planning, some type of prevention to perform the hajj in the next year, khayran, inshaAllah ta'ala. Sometimes it's permissible to use certain means of abstinence for certain reasons. Wallahu alam. AB from Tangier, Morocco. What are the evidences given by the scholars who take the view of cutting the beard? In brief, we're not here to mention the proofs and evidences in this Q&A session. Some of them, they say, first and foremost, is that the Prophet's command to grow the beard is not an obligatory command. It's just recommended. Others may say that the Prophet clearly said, Khaliful Majus. Okay, be different from the Zoroastrians, the fire worshippers. Alright, Khaliful Ahl Kitab, Khaliful Yahud. Be different from the Jews. And they say there are Zoroastrians who grow their beard today. And there are Jews who grow their beards today. So therefore, we don't necessarily have to grow a beard just to be different from them. Let us keep our beard. Let us shave our faces. A third group are those who say that it's haram to shave the beard, but the beard can be trimmed greatly. You can trim it all the way down. Really, 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 really low. And as long as you have some hair on your face, يَصْدُقُ عَلَيْكَ قَوْلُ الْخَائِلِ إِنَّهُ مُلْتَحِي. Okay, one has a beard. He's a bearded man, a type of beard. So if you have the thinnest, smallest, shadowiest beard, you have a beard. And they say you have implemented the hadith. All of these interpretations, without any question, are weak. They're feeble. They do not stand in front of scientific criticism like a stick of butter and a pan, frying pan. It's going to melt. It makes no sense The Prophet ﷺ did not say have hair on your face. He didn't say have a little hair on your face. He said let the beard grow. He said let the beard drape, let it hang, arhu, like a curtain falls down. The curtain doesn't ask gravity, hey gravity, how much do you want to pull me to the ground? Can I just hang 2 inches from the ceiling, 2 inches from the curtain rod? The curtain doesn't ask gravity, nor does gravity say, hey curtain drape, do you want to fall down halfway? They don't ask the question. Gravity pulls the curtain to the ground, and that's why they call it drape. It falls, it hangs. So the Prophet ﷺ, he did not say let hair be upon your face. Rather, he used a specific term, and that is arhu. Arhu. Irkha. Let it hang down. Irkha as-satar. You say in Arabic, to drape the curtains. They fall down. So that's weak, that's feeble. Wallahu, no matter who says it, no matter who takes that view. That's our madhab on this issue, and Allah surely knows best. Next question, Amina B from Philadelphia, PA. If one commits a major sin in Ramadan, will Allah not accept their fasting? Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. No, just because you make a major sin doesn't mean that your fast will be invalid. Is your fast accepted by Allah? That's a different story. None of us know that. But we know what's valid and what's invalid. If you make a major sin in Ramadan, it doesn't mean that your fasting is going to be invalid. And Allah surely knows best. طيب. Next question is from I Am London. Can you have cupping done in Ramadan? Also, is haram or makruh to charge for cupping, as I see a hadith along the lines that the money earned from the cupper per is evil. You should not get cupped in the daytime of Ramadan. Cupping at nighttime, at best. In the daytime, you should not do that. And there's a big possibility that your fast will be broken. It's permissible for a person to be a professional cupper. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's haram, and that's not necessarily the proper understanding of that hadith. What's meant by kasb, the hajjam is khabith. Wallahu a'lam. طيب. UT London, UK. A certain hardship that is long term and doesn't seem like it would end sometimes a punishment from Allah. How should one approach this without feeling hopeless? Doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a long time. MHD Hollis, New York. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Forget to give my salams. Forgive me, Sheikh. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. No problem. YS, Green Belt, Maryland. Am I allowed to keep drinking water when the time of Fajr comes in? If I still have the water bottle in my hand, I use a Muslim Pro app to check the Fajr or check the time for Fajr. If you have water in your mouth, that's one thing. Swallowing it. A little bit left in a cup, that's one thing. But we are not living in a time in which we just hear the adhan and that's it. Alright, the Prophet he said that the hadith of Sahaba, they lived in which there was no time schedule. There was the adhan, Allah, they would hear it. Our world is virtual. We know about our virtual world. We get notifications, we get buzzes, we get pop-ups on our screen. You know what time Suhoor is. You know Suhoor is at 4:12. And it's your duty and it's your job to check the schedule daily. Alright? It's your job to check the schedule daily. You're supposed to be on point, just like you're on point with this notification from my bank. I got cash money, I got hair. This person sent me an email, this person sent me a tweet. You're on your phone all the time. People use the bathroom, they take their cell phones with them. In the bed, they have their cell phones with them. Driving, causing accidents, they have their cell phones with them. So be on point. Below the Atib. Muhammad, please mention your last initial, please, inshallah, from Telangana, India. If I'm alone, can I recite Tahajjud obligatory prayers loudly, like Imam does during Fajr, Maghrib, and Isha? The Tahajjud should be prayed loudly. The Tahajjud should be made loudly. Wallahu alam. Tayyib. Islam is the solution. The methodology of learning and evaluating the hadith in the first century of Islam book club. Let me speak to the volunteers, please. And we'll get back on that book club very soon. Bidnallahi ta'ala. Tayyib. Ronald Bell. Assalamu alaikum. This is Abu Sakina. When reciting the Quran while praying Taraweeh, how many ayat should I recite in each rak'ah? May Allah bless you with good of this life and the next. Ameen. Alaikum salam. Because please tell us where you're coming from. Abu Sakina, barakallahu feekum. And before we move forward, don't forget, guys, for our workshop and our seminar, our intensified lecture course on the rulings of inheritance. It's going to be Thursday, the last Thursday of this month, the 28th, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to HadithDiscipleshop.com to purchase your tickets and sign up for that workshop on the rulings of inheritance. Bismillah ta'ala, jazakumullahu khairan. Of course, these seminars serve many purposes, many benefits. They allow us to cover more ground in a shorter period of time. They allow us to concentrate on certain things. Those types of conferences and exclusive workshops allow us to serve you more. And the support allows us to focus more on other things. So please make sure you support the workshop on Thursday, May 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can go to HadithDiscipleshop.com to purchase your tickets. Jazakumullahu khairan. Obaid Popo, Ibn Idris, San Diego, California. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Are you allowed to make dua in your own language in Salah and the final tashahhud before the taslim? What about in the sujood? Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Some scholars, they allow that. It's best to do it in Arabic. It's best to learn your dua in Arabic. Inshallah ta'ala, in your recommended prayer, outside of your prayer, you can do that. It's easier, but some scholars do allow that. EA from Valenciennes, France, can you give advice for someone who struggled to leave an addiction and sad because of that sin, because fear of falling again after every tawbah? May Allah Azza wa Jalla make it easy for any Muslim who's suffering from an addiction. You have to have courage. That's first and foremost. And don't think about long term. They say one day at a time. Think about one issue at a time, one opportunity. Don't focus on, oh man, I know I'm not going to be able to stay away from it for a month. I know I can't do it for a year. I've been doing it so long. I've been smoking. I've been drinking. Just one day, 1 hour at once. Dhuhr to Asr. That's it. Dhuhr to Asr. Build up momentum. All right. And if you keep falling into the addiction, you relapse and you make tawbah, that's better than no tawbah. Don't let shaitan play those mind games with you. Wallahu alam. Rulo, Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. Dear Mufti, is it true that we can eat candy with gelatin, pig, because it is not original thing, i.e. pig, allowed or haram? It's true and it's false. Yes and no. Are there fatwa? Is there ijtihad regarding this issue? Regarding something that's chemically modified in the laboratory? It's not the same as lahm al-khinzir, the shahm al-khinzir, the flesh of the pig, the meat of the pig. To an extent, yes. But does that mean we can eat anything just because it's chemically modified? Not necessarily. But there is research regarding that, certain pills, regarding capsules, gummy bears, gummy worms, things like this, Swedish fish, Sour Patch Kids, things like, I don't know if you have the things in Sweden, even though how ironic is that, Swedish fish, right? I don't know if you have that in Sweden, but in America, a very popular candy is a Swedish fish. A little fishy, gummy thing that's red. It's very tasty. You grew up eating them. And, of course, many things have gelatin in them. So that's first and foremost. Secondly is, all gelatin is not from flesh of swine. Many types of gelatin come from vegetable base. And other types of gelatin come from lamb and beef. So there is a discussion in regards to that issue, but it doesn't mean that everything you can just eat just because it's chemically modified. Wallahu alam. Hopefully one day you can try halal Swedish fish, inshallah, if you already have it. Type. Faridi Games, the player. Why is my question not posting? I don't know why. Please forgive me if I skipped or overlooked your question. Play it. Tacos, Birmingham, UK. Please mention your initials. Jazakallah khairan. Muhammad, please mention your last name. Jazakallah khairan. Your last initial. AAB from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Is it required to do for autistic child to offer salah at the age of 10? According to whatever they can do. According to whatever they can do, inshallah ta'ala. According to whatever they can do. Different levels of autism. Many autistic children are extremely intelligent and they know what's going on, but they have other issues. So based off of what they have the ability to do. Abu Sakina, J-Rock, Tayyib, Jabir, Barakallahu Fikum, Hayakumullah. Try it. This, alright, says, when reciting the Quran while praying Tarawih, how many ayats should I recite in each rak'ah? May Allah bless you. Tayyib. To keep things simple and easy, inshallah ta'ala, if you recited a page every rak'ah, jayyid. A page out of the Mus'haf, la bas. Okay? Depending on how long you plan on staying. in prayer and how much of the Quran you want to complete. But if you did if you made the minimum a page, that's very good. A page, huh? Well, 2 pages, Methalan, approximately 22 pages in a juz. So if you're making 8 rak'ah, you're gonna have to make roughly, yani, to complete a juz a night if you want to do that. Wallahu alam. In London, UK, I heard that the dua which is made after iftar is accepted. Is this to be made before eating or before eating or after eating? Before eating, before the adhan, at the time of iftar, and also when you make the iftar. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Osman for the Punjab, Pakistan, Sheikh, I'm not going to masjid for almost 2 months. Authority said you should not avoid going to the masjid. Allah musta'an. May Allah help you. If you can go somewhere to a masjid and not endanger yourself and yani and do that. The concept of obeying rulership and leadership, yani, if it's not disobedience to Allah. The coronavirus, okay, only Allah knows what's going to happen. They're saying 48 states are going to be halfway opened up next week. Dr. Fauci, he says that it's too soon, it's premature. It's going to be another outbreak. Who knows what's going to happen, guys, in another week. We've been saying this from day one. We're not experts on this situation and medical issues, but we've been saying this from day one, just from the aspect of a skeptic. When it first came out, we don't know what games are being played. It started off just 2 weeks. Then it was a month. Now 2 months. Now they're saying reopen. What's going to happen when they reopen? And people get the coronavirus again. Now they're going to force the, who knows, vaccines, Allahu alam. What's going to happen? What's going to take place? What's important is that there has to be some type of resistance. And I believe this in my heart. There has to be some type of resistance. The people of the truth, the people of Islam, the people of the Sunnah cannot just lay down and just submit. There has to be some resistance, speaking out, asking critical questions, some type of critical resistance, and not just allow people to take your rights away from you. Religious rights, worldly rights. History has taught us this, guys. No resistance, you'll get railroaded, you'll get flattened by the oppressive people. Wallahu alam. KA from Frankfurt, Germany. What is your advice to someone that would like to live in a more Muslim-friendly environment but ends up living far from parents because of it? How should one prioritize? It depends on your parents. Do your parents need you or do they want you? If they need you, then that's one thing. They want you or they're scared or they're afraid, that's a different story. Try to find a place that's not too far, that's not too remote, inshallah, but at the same time, you're in a better quality environment with regards to your Islam and have the ability to serve your parents. Wallahu alam. Khair, inshallah ta'ala. Our last question we want to take tonight is from Abdurrahman Khairi from Newark, New Jersey. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Some advice for a person how is still having trouble lowering the gaze on Ramadan. Jazakallahu khair. And keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep fasting. Make dua that Allah allows you to get married. If you have one wife, maybe you need another wife. All right? Maybe you need to go to your wife more. Maybe you need to discuss things with your wife more. Okay? Maybe you need to realize the importance of lowering the gaze and the necessity of lowering the gaze and the danger of not lowering the gaze. Okay? These things, inshallah, all help you to lower the gaze. And inshallah ta'ala, my final advice would be to embrace the bitterness of not lowering the gaze. How you feel afterwards. You feel bad, you feel low. Oh man, I did it again. I'm following my desires. And let that bitterness, let that be a reminder not to slip up and looking at things that you're not supposed to look at. And just tell yourself that there are 1,000 different women or 1,000 different men out there. You can never ever satisfy yourself by looking at it. You'll always be looking at a new woman. She has on a skirt, she has on pants, she has on leggings, she has on shorts, she has on a swimwear, a bikini, she's half naked, she's wearing a see-through dress, tall, short, light, dark, Caucasian, this, that, like it's 1,000 different things to look at. Men, you like looking at men. This man has muscles. This man has wavy hair. This man has a big beard. This man has a clean face. This man has a boyish look. This man has good cologne. This man has nice shoes on. This man has a nice car. You'll never satisfy yourself from looking at things that you're not supposed to look at, ever. You'll never get enough. And just think how miserable you'll be. Every time something walks by and passes by, you look and you stare. You'll never get enough. So these are some of the things that you have to tell yourself. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, with the necessary patience and the help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, things will be made easy and things will be facilitated bi'idhnillahi ta'ala to lower your gaze. Jazakumullah khairan. Guys, if you didn't get your question answered tonight, You can copy your question and post it for the next Q&A. Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam. Barak. Ala abdihi wa rasulihi nabina wa imamina Muhammad.